Hi there, this is Rob, and this is the 2-minute overnight overview for Wednesday. I've got a trade review from last night and some new research to keep in mind for tonight. Let's start by examining the odds sheet from Tuesday afternoon. As you can quickly see, 6 of the 8 index securities we track hinted at a bullish edge by meeting the minimum criteria for a long trade. ES is the one I generally focus on. There we saw price action, internals, and seasonality were all solidly bullish. This put the average upgap percent at 61.5 with a profit factor of over 1.4. Solid numbers that were mirrored in the weighted averages. Additionally, the edge finder identified 3 compelling and unrelated studies, all suggesting an upside edge. With everything pointing higher, the decision to go long was clear. And since seasonality was solidly positive, I used the X target amount rather than the standard target. So instead of going for just 5.5 points, I was looking for up to 13.75 points or an exit at the open. Let's take a look and see how it played out. The night started off well as ES rallied as much as 8 points by just after midnight, but the European Open didn't do futures any favors, and all those gains and more were given back. But the time in negative territory was short, and ES worked its way higher up until near the open. I was glad to have slept through the big dip with my stop-in plays, and got out near the open with a 6.25 point gain. We've had several winners in a row now, so I hope the good times will continue to roll. Let's look at a daily chart, and I'll show some research for tonight. This chart is not tracking live, so you can't see it here, but after the open, ES pulled back and nearly filled, but has still managed to keep above yesterday's close. As I'm talking, it's up about 4 points. I decided today to examine other times ES had posted an unfilled gap up on a Fed day, but did not close at a 20-day high. Here are the results. Since 2000, there have been 15 instances. Only 3 have gapped up the next day. Additionally, the gaps down have been twice the size of the gaps up. While instances are a little low, these numbers strongly suggest a downside edge. Let's look at the individual trades. The streaks here are interesting. 6 gaps down in a row were followed by 3 gaps up in a row, and then another 6 gap downs in a row. If the setup triggers this afternoon, I'll certainly be wary of a long trade. Of course, I wouldn't consider shorting without additional confirming evidence from the odds sheet and perhaps other studies.